So I did my Giants project on William James, and William James has accomplished and created many things. He's especially known as the father of American psychology. If William James were alive today, he would actually be 171 years old. James was born on January 11th, 1842, in the infamous New York City. He grew up with a father who had a zest for knowledge. This led to him gaining an excellent education. At first, William was deeply interested by painting, and his father at first did not approve, but of course, eventually he let him study art. After studying art for about a year, he abandoned it and went to Harvard to start studying chemistry. He was asked to serve in the Civil War, but actually had to refuse due to his health problems. He actually gained bad eyesight from smallpox he contracted while he was traveling in Brazil, and this led to him only being able to read for a couple hours at a time. He also had back pains from an unknown source that's unknown. Soon after, William realized that his family was running out of money, and so he then changed to Harvard Medical School so he could continue his education and finish school. Needless to say, he hated it, but he did not give up. He did actually start becoming depressed, though. So in 1869, he graduated from Harvard Medical School and he started seeping deeper into depression. The university then offered him a job as an instructor, and he claims, "The first lecture on psychology I ever heard, being the first I ever gave." He then managed to teach there for the next 35 years. He at first did feel as though philosophy was where he needed to be, but he didn't want to spend his life in abstract speculation. Soon after his teaching career got started, he met a woman by the name of Alice Howe Gibbons. They got married in 1878 and had 5 children live past their infancy, 3 of which were heavily successful. One grew on to become a lawyer and biographer, another grew to be a painter, and the other became associated with the Boston Museum of Fine Arts as an artist. In 1890, James published a book called The Principles of Psychology. It was a textbook meant for Henry Holt. It took him 12 years to write it, and he discovered 2 things. First, that there is no such thing as a science of psychology, and second, that William James isn't incapable. Although James did create a theory called radical empiricism. Radical empiricism is best explained through this excerpt. James proposed that our experience is, as such, is neutral, neither mental nor physical, neither inner nor outer. Given experience is pure in the sense that it is neither a thing nor a thought, but becomes one or the other by association with other experiences. This same felt quality becomes a mental event by being placed in some person's inner world. It becomes part of a thing by association with experiences viewed as outer. James claimed that the notion of pure experience allows philosophy to state the facts of experience without the paradoxes and contradictions into which other assumptions lead, but he never developed this side of radical empiricism in detail. So his radical empiricism was never truly formed completely. People speculate that he only did it to get his name on the map of psychology and to further his creations and theories in psychology. James is mostly involved and known for pragmatism. Pragmatism is marked by the doctrines that the meaning of conceptions is to be sought in their practical bearings, that the function of thought is to guide action, and that truth is preeminently to be tested by the practical consequences of belief. William James and C.S. Peirce together created the concept of pragmatism that has grown into so much more today. William James also contributed to the James-Lange theory of emotion. This theory explains how we connect certain motions to feelings. For example, if you see a grizzly bear and you start trembling, the process would be, "Oh, I'm trembling, I must be scared." He further explains that our physical reactions trigger our emotional feelings. The Cannon-Bard theory of emotion strictly contradicts James and Lange. They say that emotion is simply emotion. There are other contradictions against the Cannon and Bard theory, such as phobias. How do we know we have a phobia of something? We may start shaking, which can lead us to feeling anxious. Hence, the James-Lange theory of emotion can be accurate. James's last book was entitled The Meaning of Truth. He published it in 1909 and then passed away due to heart failure in 1910. He is buried in the Cambridge Cemetery in Cambridge, Massachusetts. His radical empiricism has still not been finished, and he is seen as a small contributor to philosophy. He was remembered as an ecstatic and exuberant teacher. James had made lasting friendships, especially with his students. Some of his students later on went and accomplished many great and amazing things. These students include W.E.B. Du Bois, Mary Whiton Calkins, Edward Thorndike, G. Stanley Hall, and John Dewey. He even died working on his theories. William James was an accomplished philosopher of psychology, and his little contributions brought among great things. William James has shown me that I should find the thing I am most passionate about and push myself to learn about it. He has also taught me things that I could use as a teacher or a parent, such as the James Lange theory of emotion. By knowing this, I can help teach my kids and students how to handle their emotions and control their feelings. I hope that one day I can teach as William James taught.